Who would you pick as part of your ultimate bowling dream team? It's a tough task picking a team with so many fantastic players out there, but in this video, I'm going to try and build the perfect team that could defeat all others. So let me explain how this is going to work and run through the criteria I've come up with for selecting this team. Firstly, this team comprises only of active players, so before people start commenting saying, why didn't you include guys like Earl Anthony, Mark Roth, etc, well, it's for this reason. If I was building an all-time team, then obviously these guys would be included, but this is just a team with currently active players. The next criteria that matters is I'm going to be looking at a player in their current form. So again, I'm not necessarily considering how good a player was in their prime, because really it depends on whether they're still competitive and at a good enough level in 2024. This team is going to include 5 players, and in order to try and get a wide variety of players into this team, I've included 5 categories that I have to pick from. These are a young rising star, 25 years or younger, a senior bowler, 50 years or older, a female bowler, an international bowler, and a player who is currently competing on the main PBA tour. So that's the criteria out of the way. Hopefully that's pretty straightforward. So let's just move straight on to my actual picks and my reasons for the pick. And don't forget to leave a comment down below with your selections for your own bowling dream team. We start with the first category, a young rising star, 25 years or younger, and my pick is Kevin McCune. This one was actually quite a tough choice as, to be honest, I was struggling to think of many players under 25 who I could make genuine cases for. I feel like the majority of bowlers who are having a lot of success on the tour are actually slightly older, in their late 20s and 30s. And it doesn't seem to be quite the same way as it was in the past, where the young talent, kind of winning very consistently. I feel like there is young talent on the tour, but I don't necessarily feel like many of them have actually broken out as of yet, except for one player who did spring to mind, and that's Kevin McCune. At 24 years of age, his first title came in 2023, and it was a major, the PBA Players' Championship. A very talented player who seems to have inherited his father's gift for piping it straight up the outside part of the lane. I really think there's going to be a lot more to come from him. But in terms of young talent and making a under 25 selection for this team, McCune was a pretty obvious choice for me. So my second player, and this time the category is a senior bowler over 50 years of age, and my selection is Chris Barnes. Another tricky pick, mainly because there's a lot of senior bowlers that I was considering choosing. Obviously there's guys like Parker Bone III, Pete Webber, Walter Ray Williams Jr. that definitely make cases, but as I mentioned in the intro, I felt that this is about how bowlers are performing right now, which is why I decided to go with Chris Barnes. 3 of those other guys that I mentioned are all in their 60s, where Barnes is younger at 53 and still bowls on the main PBA tour. He's also had some excellent performances on the PBA 50 tour, most recently winning the PBA 50 World Championship in 2023. Barnes is absolutely a guy I'd want on any team, as he just brings so much to the table. And although I did even consider a bit more of an outside pick in a guy like Tom Hess, who's been putting in some brilliant performances on tour, in the end, I had to go with Barnes for this selection. The third member of my team comes from a female bowler, and this pick was, again, a really difficult one, as my immediate thought was Liz Johnson. She has too many accomplishments to list, holding 25 tour titles, including 10 majors, and is one of only 2 women to win a national PBA title, the other of course being Kelly Kulick. However, as I keep mentioning, this is about how a player is performing right now, and Liz Johnson is currently 49 years of age, so to me it is a bit of a risky pick in some ways, as it's now been almost 3 years since Johnson won on the women's tour, which is why I decided to go younger with this pick and choose a bowler who was in the form of her life in the 2023 season. In the end, I decided that my selection would be Jordan Richards. She's won 5 PWBA Tour titles to date, but it was the 2023 season that was incredibly impressive, as she won 3 titles in that season alone, which earned her the PWBA Player of the Year award. She also led the tour in average for that year, just under 220, and championship round appearances with 6, and also tied the lead for catches in the 2023 season. Richards has also bowled internationally as a 6-time member of Team USA and has a great deal of success, having won a total of 12 medals, including 7 gold medals. And she's just 28 years of age, so I really think that last season was just the beginning for Richards, and I definitely think a lot more is to come from her. So just based on the most recent season, I decided that she had to be my pick for the female category. And now we move on to the 4th member of my team, and this was from an international player, and I went with, of course, Jason Belmonte. This pick was a no-brainer. Not only is Belmonte the best international player we've ever seen, many would choose him as the greatest of all time, largely down to his incredible major record. Even if you disagree with this, you can't deny that even at 40 years of age, he's still one of the very best in the game. I did try and make a case for someone like Dom Barrett, and he definitely would have been a very strong pick, but when you have a chance to select someone like Belmonte, you can't exactly turn him down. My 5th and final selection, and this one was quite wide open as this was anyone who currently bowls on the PBA tour, and again it was another fairly straightforward one, because essentially this comes down to choosing the best player on tour right now, and excluding who I've already selected, it really comes down to just 2 players, Anthony Simonsen and EJ Tackett. And while Simonsen has been bowling out of this world for the last few seasons, EJ is just that good that he's often been outshining Simonsen's performances. For me, it's EJ's consistency. He just seems to be in the top 5 every single week, and to me, he's just the best in the game right now. So, of course, EJ Tackett is my 5th and final selection for this team. As much as I think Simonsen definitely deserved to be selected for this dream team, unfortunately, he just misses out on this one. But you know what? In fact, I am tempted to actually just change the rules at the very last minute and say that I can choose a 6th selection as a substitute player, and then Anthony Simonsen can fill that role. So there's my 5 selections, and let's just quickly recap who we had. We had Kevin McCune, Chris Barnes, Jordan Richards, Jason Belmonte, and EJ Tackett. Now, I think that is a very, very solid team that would be incredibly hard to beat. But of course, I'm sure there are many of you out there that don't agree with some or maybe all of my selections, and you probably think you might be able to do a better job picking this dream team. So please go ahead and leave a comment below with your 5 players that you would choose from the categories I discussed. And as a reminder, these were a player under 25 years of age, a senior bowler 50 years or over, a female bowler, an international bowler, and a bowler currently competing on the PBA tour. I really look forward to hearing your selections, as I'm sure we'll get quite a few different teams, and maybe there'll be some other players that perhaps I didn't consider that you think deserve to be on this team. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. I tried to do something a little bit different for this one. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed it. And if you have, I'd really appreciate it if you would just give a little like and subscribe to the channel. Your support really, really does mean everything. So as always, thank you, bowling fans, and see you all next time.